The movie opens up by showing a father named Santo and his wife watching their daughter compete in a hockey match. The game was won by the daughter's team after a long period of play. Santo's daughter, Sofia, approached her boyfriend first before approaching her parents. After meeting with the boyfriend, Sofia was greeted by Santo and her mother, and before leaving, Sofia collected a promise from Santo, because Santo had previously promised to take Sofia to play in the forest if Sofia won the match, and Santo said he would not forget his promise, but now they must take her mother home. In a nutshell, Santo and Sofia are heading to the forest. Sofia and Santo appeared to be having a good time when they arrived because Sofia enjoys adrenaline activities. Before returning to the car, Sofia asked Santo to take a picture with her and said that Santo was the best father and her mother was lucky because she had gotten a good husband like Santo. Santo refused because he didn't like it. Then Santo repaired his car's mirror glass, which had previously been damaged by a tree trunk. Here, Sofia quietly photographed Santo and will upload it to Sofia's Instagram story. Evidently, the biometry system immediately detected this because Santo was being sought by a mafia boss, and the mafia boss, who already knew Santo's whereabouts, immediately ordered his 2 men to kill Santo. The next day, Santo was seen working with his brother-in-law, but the wood-cutting machine broke down, and his brother-in-law suggested that they just go home because it was already late, but Santo refused and ordered his brother-in-law to pick up Sofia from school. While he was preparing to repair the machine, the brother-in-face laws resembled Santo's. In short, after picking up Sofia from school, the brother-in-law drove her home. There, the brother-in-law planned to get lunch first at Santo's house while waiting for him to arrive, but then came 2 bosses' right-hand man of mafia boss who intended to kill Santo and his family. While recording, they killed Santo's wife and the brother-in-law. Here, the mafia boss's right hand mistook Santo's brother-in-law for Santo, then they saw Sofia on the second floor and immediately chased her. They both continued to pursue Sofia, but luckily Sofia managed to run into the forest. After that they left thinking Santo as their main target had been killed. They murdered. When Santo arrived home in the evening, he was astounded to discover that both his wife and brother-in-law had died. Sofia also returned home at the same time. Santo took Sofia away right away because he was afraid she would suffer the same fate as her mother. When Sofia inquires as to why Santo abandoned her mother, Santo responds that he will explain later because Sofia is Santo's top priority right now. Then Santo took Sofia to an empty warehouse, where he also kept his true identity and weapons. When he got inside, Santo immediately prepared weapons and cut his hair, saying that he would avenge them. After that, Santo explained to Sofia that Santo was once the right-hand man of a very cruel mafia boss, and that whenever Santo intended to repent and live a normal life with Sofia's mother, the biological of the mafia boss forbade him from killing Sofia's mother, until one day, when Santo decided to kill Sofia's mother. When Santo was desperate to kill the mafia boss' biological child, Sofia was taken aback and did not expect it because her father, who appeared weak, had a history of cruelty. On the other hand, the mafia boss witnessed the massacre of Santo's family and realized that his right hand had the wrong person, implying that Santo was still alive. The mafia boss orders his right hand to find Santo as soon as possible before Santo arrives to kill them. The following day, Santo gave Sofia his cell phone and asked her to wait in this warehouse until Santo returned. Santo also stated that Sofia was unable to contact anyone other than himself. 2 hours later, a man who was an illegal weapons seller was shown, and it was known that this man had always supplied weapons to the mafia boss, when that person suddenly came inside. After Santo stabbed him in the stomach, Santo asked who had killed Santo's wife, and in a dying state the person said that someone named Rudy and Moreno were the perpetrators, who were none other than the 2 hands of the boss right-hand men mafia. Sofia, who was perplexed, instead called her boyfriend to come pick her up. Hearing this, her boyfriend immediately picked her up, but the mafia boss's biometric system detected this. In short, Sofia's boyfriend arrived and promptly took her away. They were about to leave when they came across Moreno's car, one of the mafia boss right-hand men, and Moreno tried to catch Sofia by shooting him until Sofia's boyfriend lost control and crashed into a tree trunk. This is Moreno, who without a doubt killed Sofia's boyfriend and had Sofia arrested. Sofia tried to fight back, but Moreno was able to put her in the car garage. When Moreno was about to leave, he abruptly On the other hand, the mafia boss is seen talking with his youngest child, Michelle. The mafia boss asks Michelle to join him in looking for Santo to avenge the death of Michelle's brother, but Michelle says it's better to forget the past, which irritates the mafia boss. It is known that Michelle is starting a private bank and does not want to be involved in any scandal with a bad image. After seeing an empty house late at night, Santo told Sofia to stop, and they decided to stay there. When Santo was already inside, he felt pain in his stomach from Marino's earlier stab. Santo could no longer stand the wound in his stomach. Suddenly he became unconscious, saw his father dying. Sofia looked for help outside until Sofia found an illegal abortion clinic, and Sofia immediately asked for their help. The doctor and the officers there didn't want to help Sofia because it was too late, but after Sofia offered a lot of money, they agreed. In short, Santo was rushed to the clinic for treatment. Santo remembered his late wife, Sofia, who was giving birth at the time. Sofia lives with him and his wife. After that, Sofia found a letter in Santo's wallet that said, "The gratitude because he lives with his wife and as Sofia." The mafia boss, on the other hand, is now gathered with Rudy. This is the person. The mafia boss's remaining hand, and beside Rudy is Sarl, the creator of the biometric system. All this time the mafia boss has found Santo, thanks to Sarl's help, and here the mafia boss ordered Sarl to check Santo's position by checking all the CCTVs in this city. The next day, Santo is seen recovering. Santo apologizes to Sofia because of Santo's past, and now Sofia has to suffer like this. Santo then instructs Sofia to prepare a car while he follows. At the same time, it was discovered that Sarl had discovered their location. It didn't take long for Rudy and one of his men to arrive. During the fight that caused Rudy to fall down the stairs, Santo heard a gunshot. It turns out that Rudy's men have cornered them outside Sofia. And Rudy's men try to inform him that he now has Sofia, but only temporarily. It turned out to be Santo, and Santo took Sofia to get away from that place. In short, they were in an empty warehouse and intended to stay for some time. Santo was seen teaching Sofia how to attack with a knife. According to Santo, if you attack the opponent on the side of the stomach, he will still survive, but if you attack him in the chest, he will immediately faint and die. Meanwhile, if Sofia attacks the opponent's neck, it will last 30 seconds and the opponent will definitely remember Sofia's face before dying, which is the most terrible revenge. Santo then built a bomb with a cell phone trigger that he planned to use later. Santo tells Sofia at night that they will kidnap Michelle, the son of the mafia boss, the next day. In short, Sofia went to Michelle's private bank the next day. Right in front of bank she was stopped by the cops and Sofia was told she had to leave right away. When the cops got into the car, they discovered that Santo was already holding a gun. And Santo requests that he deliver him to the employee parking. When Santo arrived, he immediately attacked the police officer, causing him to pass out. When Santo went inside, Sofia detonated a small explosive to distract everyone. Finally, Santo was able to enter Michelle's room safely and drive him to the parking lot. Santo ordered everyone to remain silent because he would not hesitate to kill Michelle if they did not. Sofia was already waiting for him when he arrived at the parking lot. Santo immediately sends Michelle's photo to Rudy using Michelle's cell phone after successfully holding him hostage and transporting him to an empty warehouse. Santo then says goodbye to Sofia because Santo intends to lure them to a train wreck. On the other hand, Rudy informed the mafia boss that if Michelle is now a hostage, Santo would not hesitate to kill Michelle, and Santo also sent a message to the mafia boss to admit his sins of the mafia boss for the past 30 years to the media. The mafia instructed Rudy to monitor Santo's cell phone. Through the cell phone, Sarl learned of the existence of Sano, who is now at the location of the train's carcass. The mafia boss then immediately ordered Rudy and his men to come to the location and ensure that Rudy truly killed Santo this time. In short, Rudy and his men arrived and discovered Santo's car when they approached it suddenly.
Mino, tagabi.
Santo kills Rudy's men one by one until, on one occasion, Santo detonates a bomb that he had previously kept in the car. Rudy is the only survivor of the train wreck, and he is still looking for Santo. Eventually, Santo managed to conquer Rudy, at which point Rudy stated that the mafia boss did not care about his youngest son and would continue to hunt Santo. Upon hearing this, Santo immediately killed Rudy. On the other hand, Michiel told Sophia that her father was a demon who had killed hundreds of people. Michiel begged Sophia to let him go, and he knew Sophia was just a child who didn't know anything. Sophia didn't care what Michiel said. Soon Sophia received a call from Santo, and Santo said farewell because Santo now intends to go to the headquarters of the mafia boss. Sophia forbids it because she doesn't want to lose. The scene then shifts to Santo killing all of the mafia boss's men. After killing all of them, Santo smashed the glass and met the mafia boss, who apologized and promised not to bother Santo again. But Santo knew the mafia boss would not keep his promise and killed the mafia boss right away. When Santo arrived, there were many police officers waiting to arrest him. Santo saw this as his redemption from the past. Santo pretended to take a gun, and the police shot him to death. The cops also rescued Michelle and took Sophia away. Sophia is now in a child shelter and is free of all charges because she is thought to know nothing. After that, Sophia met Michelle, who gave her a chocolate gift, which Sophia declined because she dislikes chocolate. When Michelle was about to leave, he told Sarl to kill Sophia the next day in the same manner that Santo had killed his father, the mafia boss. The next day, Sarl informed Michelle that Sophia was no longer at the shelter, which shocked Michelle because Sophia was already at Michelle's place, and here he was explaining why Sophia was here despite the fact that he had already sent people to kill Sophia. This is exactly what Sophia does. And if Sophia still harbors a grudge against the mafia boss's family, including Michelle, the film is over.